So we are going to create a dashboard using these three sheets: order sheet, return sheet, and people sheet. So in this order sheet, we have all the data related to order. Now, whether that order is returned or not, that data is there in this next sheet, which is return sheet. Okay. And then in the people sheet, you are having from which region that person is coming from, whether it's coming from central region, east region, west, all this data is there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this. I'm going to open a new Excel workbook. So in this new Excel workbook, we will be creating this entire dashboard. I'm going to send the data at the end. So I'll click on this Excel workbook. So first thing we should do here is I've opened this new worksheet, right? I've opened this new workbook. In this, I'm in the sheet one. Right now, in this workbook, I don't have anything. I don't have that data. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to get the data. I'll go to this data section. In this here, I want to get the data from a file. I want to get the data from text/CSV files. Okay. I'm going to click on this and then I'm going to load that Walmart data. So here it is going to show me. I'll go to downloads. In this, I'm going to go to Excel files. Here I'll show all files. So now here is my Walmart data. I'll click on open. I want to import this. In this Excel workbook, in my Walmart data, I have so many worksheets, right? I'm having so many worksheets. I don't want to import all the worksheets. I only want to import the ones which are necessary for me to create a Excel dashboard. To create this dynamic retail dashboard, whatever files are required, I'm only going to import them. I want to select multiple items. So I want to load order sheet, I want to load people sheet, and then return sheet. Okay. So here I've selected them. What I want to do before I load this data into my Excel worksheets, so I want to do some modifications. If you observe here, look at this returns worksheet. In this return order ID and market, this is actually the column names, but these are not being considered as the column names. So now I'm not going to get the proper result. Okay. If I don't have this in a correct format. In orders also, this raw ID is something I don't want. Okay. So I should remove them. So before loading all this data, what I should do first, I need to transform this data. Once I've transformed this data, I will be able to load this in a proper format. And once it is loaded in a proper format, we can then start creating a dashboard. So here Power Query Editor has opened up. And in this, what do we want? Here, look at this raw ID is something which we don't want, right? I'm going to remove this. If you want to delete a column, it is very simple. Right click on this and then click on remove. Once this is done, I'll go to this return sheet. I want this first row to be considered as a header. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on this, use first row as the header. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to share this worksheet with you guys at the end. First, pay attention. Observe how to create this dashboard. Okay. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys recording. Okay. Don't worry about the recording part. Here in this also, I want this first row to be considered as the header. I'll click on use first row as header. Okay. Once I've done all this, once I'm okay with my data, what I should do, I should load this. Here I'll click on close and load. So all this data which has been corrected will be loaded and will be shown to us in a tabular format. So look at this, all this data is getting loaded here. Okay. So now once our data is successfully loaded, we will be able to see that here and how many rows are loaded from order sheet, how many from people and how many from return sheet, we are able to see all this data. Okay, all this data has been loaded. Once this is done, this is the place where I'll start creating my dashboard. So here I'm going to name the sheet as my dashboard. Okay, I don't want my dashboard to be in plain white color. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to select some area and I'm going to select from A to Z columns. Here I want to select from A to Z column till 100 rows. I want this area to be put in, let's say, some light blue color, something like this. Okay. Now, once this is done, so I want a header section, right? I want to give my dashboard a name. So what I'm going to do, or let's give this some different color. I'll select this. Let's give some dark color, dark background for our dashboard. Here I'm going to open this and here let's select this one. I want to choose dark theme. Okay, done. Now once this is done, I want to create a header section. To create a header section, here I'm going to click on insert shapes and then I'm going to put a rectangle here. So this rectangle is the place where I'm going to give a header name. So I'm going to put this here. Let's say I'm going to take 4 columns. Now once this is done, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start typing the name of the dashboard. Here I'll give dynamic retail dashboard. Okay, I'm giving this name dynamic retail dashboard. I want this to come horizontally in the center, vertically in the center. Okay, and also I want to increase the size of this. So to select this, I'm going to double click on this entire thing. And then here I'm going to increase the size, something like this. And I want this in bold color. So here I'm going to put this in maybe this format. This is by dynamic retail dashboard. I've given a font for this. Okay. Now once this is done, what do I want? Maybe you want. Okay, maybe I'll give a lighter color for this, something like this. Okay, something like this. Okay. Now once this is done, because we are creating the Walmart data, because we are creating a dashboard from Walmart data. So this dashboard is going to uh, explain us about Walmart data, right? So what I want to do here, I want to put Walmart logo here. Okay, in the header at top left, I want to put Walmart logo. So what I'm going to do, so I'll go to Google and then simply search for Walmart logo, get Walmart logo, and then I'm going to display that here. Click on these 3 dots. So here I'm going to search for Walmart logo. I'll go to images. In this, here, look at this. I'm just going to randomly click on any one. So this is just too big. Let's get this one. I'm going to copy this, copy image. I'm going to copy this image and here, if I paste this, it is just going to be too big, but we can adjust the size here. I'm going to adjust the size and put it at top left somewhere here. Okay, so this is how we are going to put a logo. Now once this is done, now is the time for us to start creating charts. Okay, so now we are going to start creating charts with the help of pivot tables. Okay, first we are going to do calculations using pivot table in a separate sheet, and using those data we are going to create charts individually. We are going to create all the charts separately, and then one by one we are going to put all the charts in our dashboard. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll go to this order sheet. From this, I'm going to, this is already a table. Here I'm going to insert a pivot table out of this. So I'll insert a pivot table from this orders table. I'll click on OK. So now first thing I want to do here is I want to display all the KPIs. So KPI means what? KPI means you guys must have already heard this word a lot of time. KPI, right? KPI means what? KPI means key performance indicator. Okay, KPI means key performance indicator. So now what is this key performance indicator? So now when we were in schools and colleges, so now we all had report cards, right? So now we had grade. So now this grade is the indicator for our performance in our schools and colleges. And then attendance is there. Attendance is there. Attendance is the indicator for our performance. Similarly, in businesses, KPI is nothing but how much total sales the business made. Okay. How much total profit the business made. These are the indicators of business performance. How much total orders we got. All these are the indicators of business performance. Okay, that is what is your KPI. So KPI is nothing but key performance indicator. So now these are the indicators which tell us how the performance of business was. Okay, that is only your KPI. Is this KPI clear to everyone? What does KPI mean? Can I get a yes or no from everyone? Okay, great. So as all the participants who stay till the last at the end of this workshop, I'm going to share this data set with you guys. Okay. All the participants who stay till the end of this workshop are going to get the data set and also the recording link. Okay. KPI is nothing but key performance indicator. Key performance indicator. Okay. Now here total sales is there. Total sales is the how much total sales did the business do, right? So this total sales is the indicator of how well the business has performed, right? Total profit is there. Total, this profit is the indicator to show how well the business has performed. That is only our KPI, okay? Right, so now using this pivot table, we are going to display all these KPIs. Here, I'm going to display 5 KPIs. First is the total sales. So this shows my total sales, and then I want to show total profit, and then I want to show total quantity, and then I want to show count of order ID. How many orders did the business get? The business got total 51,000 something orders. And then here, what do I want to do? Here, I don't have profit margin, right? I don't have any profit margin column here. Profit margin is nothing but here in this. So how much is the profit percentage? Okay. So here I'll create profit margin. How much is the profit percentage? That is only a profit margin. That is equal to profit divided by how much sales. If I press enter, now here you are able to see all the values. I'm going to change this to percentage. Okay. Now look at this first order. The profit margin is 33%. Second order minus 8. Third order, the profit margin is 18%. But the thing here is when I've created a new column, it is going to occupy some space. I don't want this column to be there in my order sheet. Okay. I only want to use that in my dashboard. I wanted to have that temporarily, but this, when I create a new column, this is going to occupy space for me. So I don't want this. I'm going to delete this column. I want that to be there in my pivot table, but I don't want, you know, that to be, uh, that to occupy physical space, right? So what I'm going to do in this scenario, here, you need to go to pivot table analyze. And then here you're having field items and sets. In this, there is something called as calculated field. I'll click on calculated field. I want to create this calculated field profit margin, which is equal to profit. I'll select this profit here. Profit insert field divided by sales. Sales insert field. I'll click on OK. So now here you'll notice that here profit margin has been created, and then you can show this in percentage if you want. Okay. So now this profit margin will only be in my pivot table. This is not created in my order sheet. Okay. This did not occupy any space. Just some calculation has been done and that has been displayed here. Okay. Right. So now once this is done, now here I'm showing all the KPIs. Okay. I'm showing all the KPIs here using pivot table, sum of sales, sum of profit, total quantity, order count, and total profit. Okay. Now, once this is done, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new sheet. In this new sheet, I'll give the sheet name as KPI. And what all KPIs we have created, I want to display all my KPIs here. Sum of sales, sum of profits, sum of sales, sum of profit, sum of quantity, and then count of order ID. Okay. And then sum of profit margin. These are the KPIs which you have created, right? So I'm putting all these KPIs here. Okay. Now in this here, this is the KPI. And here I'm going to give the name of the KPI. So name, instead of giving sum of total sales, here I'll give this as total sales, total profit, total quantity, and then total orders, and then profit margin. Okay. So here I'm going to make them bold. Okay. Now, once this is done, for each KPI, I don't want to give a name. Okay. I don't want to give names for each KPIs. What do I want to do? I want to show them with the help of symbols. Okay. I want to, for total sales, I want a symbol here. For total profit, I want a symbol. For total quantity, for total order. For each KPI, I want to display them using symbols. I don't want to display them using names. So here, now each symbol is going to have a unique R code. Unique R code. So now for total sales, to display that symbol, it is going to have a certain unique R code. Okay. So here I'm going, that unique R code is, here the unique R code is 128200. And for total profit, the unique R code is 128176. For total quantity, it is 128230. And for count of order ID, here the unique R code is 128722. And for profit margin, to display that symbol, the unique R code for this is 128269. Okay, you can easily get them on the internet. Now for each KPI, I want to display them using symbol. So here I'm going to give this column name as symbol. And then what I want to do, I want to display the symbol for total sales, total profit for all this. Here I'm going to use this unique R, and then here inside this, I'm going to put this. So now when I drag this down till the last, did you see for total profit, I'm displaying this symbol. For total sales, this symbol. For total quantity, for total order, profit margin. For each KPI, here I've displayed a symbol. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is I want to create a slicer. I want to create filters using the symbols. I don't want to create that slicer, that filter using the names. Okay. That is why here I've created this column. Once this is done, I'm going to just select these three columns and then I'm going to make this a table. Here I'll do Control T. I want this to be a table, and to this table, I'm going to give this table a name as, I'm going to give this name as KPI table. Okay. Here I've created my KPI table where each KPI is having a different symbol. Okay. So this symbol is there for total order, this for quantity, this for profits, like this. Okay. Now, once this is done, what do I want to do? Okay. Once this is done, I want to go to my dashboard In my dashboard, I want to display all the here in our sheet 2, we are displaying all the KPIs, right? In our sheet 2, here I'm going to make this as currency. Let's put rupees, profits. I'll put currency, total orders, order ID, and profit margin. Okay. Now, whatever KPIs which you have created, right? I want these KPIs to be displayed in my dashboard. So for this, what I should do here, I'm going to insert a shape. Here, I'm going to insert a rectangle. Okay. And then here, I'm going to give this some light color. Okay. I'm going to copy this, paste it. One more box I'm having exactly below this. Okay. So now in this box, I want to give this name in my sheet to sum of sales, right? So in my dashboard, in this box, I want the name to be given, which is sum of sales. So here I'm going to do simply equal to, I'm just going to simply select that. I'll go to sheet 2. Here I'm going to select the sum of sales. If I press enter, did you see sum of sales is being displayed? Okay. Horizontal in the center, vertical in the center. I want this text to be in the center, bold, and then I'll simply increase the size a little bit. Okay. Now in this sales amount here, now if you look at this, in this box here, what I'm selecting, in my sheet 2, I'm selecting the cell A3, right? A3, in A3 here, I'm having sum of sales. So let me just change this. In A3, I'm having the sum of sales, and the amount for sum of sales is there in A4, right? It is there in the cell A4. So what I'm going to do in this orders, I'll click on this box here. I'll simply put A4. Okay. So what is happening? There is an extra equal to here. I'll press enter. Now, did you see here we are able to target that? Okay. So I'm getting these values from my sheet 2. Here I'm simply targeting these cells. In that way, I'm getting these values. So I'm going to make this in white color. Done. So once I've created these two boxes, here we total have 5 KPIs, right? I want to have 5 boxes like this. So I'm going to group them. If you want to group these two boxes, click on the first box, press Control, click on the select second one, right click, and here I'm going to group them. Once I've grouped them, did you see they both have become a group? And then I'm going to move them together. Here I'm going to copy this, paste this. I want to create 5 boxes like this. In second box, here this is selecting A3. In A3, here I'm showing sum of sales. In the next one, I want to show sum of profits, right? So here I should put B3. So here what I'm going to do, I'll click on this. I'll select the first box. Here I'll put B3. I'm going to press enter. Did you see here I'm showing sum of profit? So now this is B4, A4. I'll put B4 to show the value of this. Okay. So like this, similarly, okay. So I got this. I'm going to copy this in one more box. Here B3 is there. Next, here I'm going to put C3. And then here it will show me sum of quantity. In this B4 is there. I'm going to select C4. Like this, here I'm showing the values of total quantity. Okay. I'm going to select this. I'm going to make the text in white color. I'll make it bold. Similar, I'll copy this, paste it again. In the next KPI, here I'll select this. C3 is there. Here I'll put D3. When I put D3, here I'm getting count of this. Here also I'll put D4. And then here I'm getting the value of this. Okay. And I'm simply going to make them in white color. I'm going to make it bold. Okay. I'll copy this, paste it again. In my last KPI, I'm going to display profit margin. In this one, here it is D3. If I select E3, here it is showing sum of profit margin. Here I'll put E4, which is going to show me the profit margin. Here I'm going to select this group. I'll make this white color. I'm going to make it bold. Okay, this is how we have created this 5 KPIs. One by one, we are displaying everything. Okay. Now, once I've created this, what I should do here, I actually want to create a slicer from this table to using this pivot table. I want to create a slicer. So now in that slicer, if I only want to see the rate of consumer segment, if I simply click on consumer, I should only see the rate of consumer segment. Okay. If I click on corporate, I should only see the rate of corporate segment. If I click on home office, I should only be seeing the rate of home office segment. So I'll simply click on this and then I'll click on pivot table analyze. Here I'm going to insert a slicer and then I'll select this segment section. Once this is done, this is nothing but this is a slicer. Using this, if I click on consumer, you'll notice that all the data is changing and now we are only able to see the rate of consumer. If I click on corporate, we only see the rate of corporate. If I click on home office, I'm only able to see the rate of home office. Okay. And here I'll right click. Right now it is only one column. I want these slices to be shown side by side. So I'll right click here, size and properties. In this here, number of columns should be 3. If I press enter, now I'm able to show 3 columns. I'm going to cut this and I'm going to put this in my dashboard. I'll go to my dashboard. In my dashboard, I'm going to put that slicer, whatever I've created. Okay. Like this segment slicer is there. And also I want to create a category slicer. If you want to see, if I click on this in my dashboard, all the KPIs are changing. If I click on home office, all the KPIs change. If I click on consumer, all the KPIs are changing, right? So if you want to remove this filter, you can simply click on this one. You'll get everything back to normal. If you want to see from consumer segment, how many orders are there? Look at this. From consumer segment, 26,000. From corporate, 15,000. From home office, 9,000. Okay. Done. I also want to insert a category slicer here. I'll click on this pivot table analyze. Here, I want to insert a slicer. I want to insert a category slicer. Where is category? Here is a category. Okay. I'll click on this here. For this also same. I want to have 3 columns. Size and properties. I want to have total 3 columns. Okay. I'll copy this and I'm going to paste this in my dashboard here. Okay. So if you observe, if I start applying this filter, if I click on home office supplies, you'll notice that all the data is changing. If I click on this one, you'll notice that the entire data is changing here. Okay. Here I'm going to remove this filter. This is how you are going to create this 5 KPIs. Okay. Where we are displaying all the KPIs and also here I'm able to put these filters. Okay. Like this, you will be able to display this. Right. So let's answer the next question. Just give me a minute. Okay, were you guys able to understand this? How did we create all the 5 KPIs? Any questions, any doubts in this? How did we insert these slicers? Okay, great. Guys, here we are displaying the first question. Using this dashboard, the first question we have answered is here. I'll put the questions. Display all the KPIs. Okay, here we have displayed this second question. Second thing we want to display here is category wise profit. From each category, what is the profit? I want to display them. Okay. Right. So now why it's used? The use is to show the KPIs of this business. Right. Why are we displaying this KPIs? Using this KPIs only we are able to understand, right, how the business has performed. That is why we are showing these KPIs. Okay. Second question I want to answer here is from each category, how much profit we are getting. Okay. So now what I'm going to do to answer this, I'm going to insert one more pivot table. I'll click on insert. I'm going to insert one more pivot table from this order sheet. In this, I want to display from each category, how much profit we are getting. right? So here I'm going to put the category into rows, and then sum of here profits into values. So now here we are able to see from furniture category how much profit we are getting, from office supplies how much, from technology how much. Okay, from each category how much profit we are getting, we are able to see, right? But the thing here is I want to see category wise all the KPIs. Right now I'm able to see category wise sum of profits. Here I'm going to insert a pie chart. Okay. Now here I'm able to see category wise profit, but I also want to see category wise sum of sales. I want to see category wise how many orders we are getting. I want to see category wise what is the profit margin. So if you want to do this now, right now, this chart is only showing me category wise profit. If I want to show all the KPIs, I'll actually need 5 charts here. Obviously, we'll not have so much space in our dashboard to put category wise all the KPIs. Our dashboard cannot be entirely just about category, right? So now what I'm going to do, now we are going to see how to create a dynamic chart. In one chart only, we are going to show category wise profit, category wise sales, category wise order, category wise profit margin. All the 5 KPIs I'm going to show you guys in one chart only. Okay, which is going to save us a lot of space in our dashboard, and our dashboard will actually look very, very good when we have created this dynamic chart. Okay, are you guys excited to see how this is created in one chart? We are showing category wise all the KPIs. Are you guys excited to see how do we create this? Yes, great. Let's start creating that. Okay, so right now here I've created this chart. I'm going to delete this. Now in my pivot table, I'm only showing category wise profit, right? So let's also display the other things. Here in this, I want to display category wise sum of sales, category wise sum of sales. I want to display category wise what is the quantity. In this category wise, what is the profit margin, and then category wise profit margin. I'm going to put C. I'm able to show categorize sales, profit, quantity, profit margin, and what was the other KPI? Category wise orders. Okay. Here I'm displaying all the things. Now, what do I want? What do I want here? See, here, first thing is here I'm going to put category. Okay. And whatever categories are there below this, whatever categories are there, I want to display all the categories. Here I'll put equal to. I'm going to select the first one, and then when I drag this down, here I'm able to see all the categories. Okay. Now what do I want? See, if I put sum of profit here, if I put this text sum of profit, I should be able to see category wise profits. And now if I change this text to sum of sales, what should happen? I should see category wise sum of sales. And then if I change this to sum of, here if I change this to count of orders, I should be able to see category wise count of orders. Okay, this is what we are going to create. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a formula to create this. Here I'm going to type sum of sales. Okay, so now here, which any idea which Excel formula is going to get me these values? I want to get category wise sum of sales. The values are here. Any idea which Excel function is going to help me to get these values? Should I use index function? What I should use? So here index match. Yes, I can use index match. Also, I can use the combination of VLOOKUP plus match. Okay. See, I'm going to show you. Here I'll put equal to VLOOKUP. Now the lookup value is this. Here I'm going to select the entire table, comma. Now we are looking for sum of sales. Sum of sales is there in the second column, right? I'll put 2 here. And then range lookup, we are looking for the exact match, so I'll put false. So now you're able to see furniture sales is this. I'm going to drag this down. So right now, with the help of VLOOKUP formula, the drawback of VLOOKUP is you will be able to get only the values from one particular column. Okay. Now, if I change this from sum of sales to sum of orders, here I'll change this to sum of sales to, let's say, sum of profit. Sum of sales to, I'm changing this to sum of profit. Now the problem here is VLOOKUP was only getting me the values from the second column. Right now, sum of profit is this third column, right? So we should be able to get the values from the third column. Now VLOOKUP can only get you the values from one column. It cannot get you the values from multiple columns. In this case, what I should do, in this case here I should make this dynamic. Okay, here I will be using match function. What match function is going to do, match function is going to tell me what is the column number of this. Okay, so here instead of putting a very static column number, I'm going to make it dynamic. Here I'll use match function. Match lookup value is this, and I'm looking for column number of this, and this I'm selecting all the columns because due to relative referencing the range will shift, so I'm going to fix the range here. Okay, and then I'm looking for the exact match. I'll put this, and here when I drag this down, it should always target this sum of profit, right? So I'm going to fix this range also, and I also should fix the range of this table, right? So here I'm going to put a dollar here, dollar here, dollar here, and dollar here. Okay. Now after this is done, now you're able to see I'm getting sum of profit. When I drag this down, did you see now I'm able to get the category wise sum of profit? Okay. Now if I change this to sum of quantity, if I press enter, did you see it is dynamically changing here? So how is that happening? Because this match function is dynamically getting me the column name. Okay. This match function is dynamically getting me the column name. And from there, I'm able to put all this. Okay. Here I'll change this to sum of profit margin. Okay. When I did this here, I'm going to display them in the form of percentage. Now I'll change this to sum of profit margin. Okay, these values are actually shown in the form of percentage. Okay, so like this, I'm able to get these values. Okay, right now using XLOOKUP also, it will not dynamically change the column name. Okay, that is why here I've used match function. Match function is helping me to get the column. Now, once this is done, now here the thing here is I want to dynamically change the column name. If I select order, here this column name should change to count of order ID. If I select profit, the column name should automatically change to sum of profit. I want that to happen. For this, I'll click on insert. I want to insert a pivot table from what? Remember, if you remember, we have created a KPI table, right? We have created this KPI table here. KPI table is here. So now I want to insert a pivot table from this KPI table. So in my sheet 5, here I'm going to insert a pivot table from KPI. Okay. Now if I click on OK, you are able to see here pivot table has been created by using that KPI table. Okay. So in this, what I'm going to do, in my KPI table, we have displayed the name. We have displayed the name and also what are the KPIs. We are displaying everything. Okay. So now in this pivot table, from this pivot table, I want to insert a slicer. So if you remember, we have created that symbol. I'll select this symbol. Here I've created this symbol slicer. Right now it is having only one column. I want this to have 5 columns. I'll right click size and properties. Now, right now number of column is 1. I'll change this to 5. Okay, done. Now when I click on this, total sales, here you'll notice that I'm able to see only sum of profit. Okay, I'm able to see only sum of profit. If I change this to If I click on this one, see it is showing me only sum of sales. If I click on this sum of quantity, if I click on the sum of profit margin, okay, using this using this slicer, I only want to display what I want to display. Okay. Now, once this is done, here I want this column name to be dynamic, right? So here, if you notice, this column name is changing dynamically. So what text I want to display here, whatever text is coming here, I want that text to be displayed here. And then when the text is changing, accordingly, the values will also change. I'll put equal to and then select this. See, if I click on this one, what is happening? First, it is changing here. And from here, this text is changing. And we have written Excel function to get the values of whatever is the column name. If I select this, first the text is changing here. From here, it is getting reflected here. And accordingly, the values I'm getting. Okay. If I select this, first it is changing here. And accordingly, I'm getting the values here. And then those values are being displayed here. Okay. This is how we are able to display category wise all the KPIs in a very dynamic way. Okay. Once you have created this, what we should do here, I should simply select this. And then here I want to insert a pie chart. Here I'll insert a 3D pie chart. I'll select this style. And then here I'm going to open the data labels. I'll put them outside end. Now observe here. Now this is showing me category wise sum of profit. And now when I change this to this one, you are able to see sum of sales. If I change to this one, sum of quantity. If I change to this one, count of order ID. Okay. Right here, dynamically, the chart is changing in a dynamic way. First, if I click on this, the column is changing and accordingly from here, the chart is getting changed. Okay. Once I've created this, I'm going to display this in my dashboard. So I'm going to copy this one. I'll go to my dashboard and I'm going to paste this dashboard here. Okay, what I've created, I'm pasting this dashboard here. And then right above this, here I'm going to put a box. I'm going to leave some space. Okay, right now here, if you observe this title is being displayed, I'm going to remove this title. The title is right now only count of order ID. But I want to display title category wise order count. Okay, category wise order count, category wise sales. I want to display category wise profit like that. Okay, here it is. I'm not able to understand what exactly is this, right? This is category wise data. So what I'm going to do here in my sheet 5, I'm going to display text. Here I'll put equal to category wise, category wise ampersand, and whatever text is coming here, I want that to be displayed. See, now it is displaying category wise count of order ID. Right now, see category wise sum of profit, category wise sum of sales, sum of quantity, category wise count of order ID. Okay. Or what you can do here, you can display, instead of displaying this, you can display the KPI name, category wise total orders. Okay. So if I click on this, category wise total profit, total sales, total quantity, like this we are displaying. Once this is done, whatever text is coming here, I want that to be the header of my chart. So I'm going to insert this shape and I'm going to give this a blue color. Okay, and whatever text is being displayed there, I want that text to come here. So I'll go to the sheet 5. In this, I'm going to select this. Okay, and I'm going to get this horizontally, vertically in the center, horizontally in the center. I'm going to make it bold and I'm going to show this text in white color. And then here I'm going to increase the size. Okay, here we are displaying category wise total profit. Okay, like this, here we have created this, our first dynamic chart. And now whatever slicer is there here, the slicer you're seeing here, right? I want that slicer to be put in my dashboard. If I want my slicer to be put somewhere here, And what do I want? Right now, if I click on this, you'll notice that what is happening, this slicer is only connected to this chart, but this slicer is not connected to all the KPIs, right? Only this chart is changing. I want this slicer to control my entire dashboard. So here, what I should do, here I'm going to click on this slicer. I'll click on slicer. I'll click on report connections. Okay, what I'll do, we have created this in sheet file, in sheet 2. From here, I'm going to insert a slicer. I'll insert a symbol slicer here, connections. Okay, what I'm going to do, hmm, here in this sheet 2 also, I'm going to insert the slicer. Let's try inserting the slicer here. Here, I'll put this in 5 columns. Okay, I'll cut this. What we will do here, I'll go to my dashboard. Next charts, whatever we are creating, right? We are going to link this to all the other charts. Okay. I don't want this to be linked with this. The reason is if I click on total sales, only the total sales will be shown here. Okay. Rest all will be hidden. If I click on this here, in this we'll only be able to see this one. Okay. All the other will be hidden. If I click on if I click on this total quantity or total orders, only the total orders will be shown, rest all will be hidden. What I'll do, next, what are charts we are creating, right? I'm going to link this slicer with all the other charts, okay? So this is the first question we have, this is the second question we have answered. I wanted to display category-wise profits, okay? Next question I want to answer here is, I want to display segment-wise profits, okay? Or the better thing I'm going to say here is, I want to display segment-wise all KPIs. Here, here I'll display category-wise all KPIs, okay? Here in question 3, I want to display segment-wise all KPIs, okay? In this, I want to display segment-wise all KPIs, okay? So now for this, I want to answer this. I'm going to insert a new pivot table. In this here, I'll display segment-wise all the KPIs, segment-wise count of order ID, profits. Here, I'll display profit margin and then quantity. I'll display quantity here and then I'll also display the sales. Here, I'm also going to display the sales. Okay. And here, I'm going to put segment here. And then whatever segment values are there, I want to display them. Here, I'll drag this down and I'm going to make it bold. And now what do I want? Here, if I put sum of profit, here I should get the values for that. Okay, so same formula, I'll write VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. I'm going to select this entire table. And then sum of profit is coming from fourth column, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm looking for exact match. I'll put false here. Okay. and then here I'm going to drag this down. If I change this to sum of sales, I should get the sales value. Right now that is not happening, right? So here what I should do, I should be taking the help of KPI table. I'm going to insert a pivot table of KPI, and then dynamically this text will be changing. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a pivot table. I want to insert a pivot table from this KPI table. And in this, I want to display the name and KPI. And once this is done, here I'm going to insert a slicer for symbol. Okay. And right now there is only one column. I want to have 5 columns. Okay. Done. Now, once this is done, if I click on this, see, I'm only able to see sum of profits. If I click on last one, I'm able to see count of order ID. If I click on this one, sum of sales, sum of profit. Okay. Now, whatever text is coming here, I want that text to come here. I'll put equal to and then select this. If I press enter, see, now when I did this, this value is changing. But here, if you notice, because of this VLOOKUP, I'm only getting the values from this fourth column, right? So I should use this math function and make it dynamic. Lookup value is this. Here, I'm going to fix the range. And then table array is this. I'm going to fix the range. And then match type is 0. Okay, done. Here, I'm going to fix the range of this entire table. Okay, and then when I drag it down, see, you're able to see count of order, right? If I click on this sales profit, I'm getting profit. If I click on this here, I'm able to see segment wise sales, segment wise quantity, segment wise profit margin, all the values I'm getting. Okay, now once this is done, I'm going to insert a donut chart. Here I've inserted a donut chart. I'll click on this one, and then I'm going to turn on the data labels, and then I'm going to put them outside. Okay, so here I'm able to display segment wise what is happening. Here I'm able to display segment wise sum of sales. If I click on this one, segment wise sum of profit, segment wise quantity, segment wise profit margin, all this I'm able to display. I'm going to cut this chart and I'm going to put this in my dashboard somewhere here. Okay, now I'm going to copy this, paste it. Now here similarly, like how I'm displaying category wise, I also want to display segment wise total profit like this. Okay. So for this, what I should do, here I'll go to the sheet 6 and here I'm going to put equal to segment wise. I'll put and here I'm going to display this total profit. Now you're able to see segment wise total profit, total sales, total quantity, profit margin like this. Okay. And then whatever text is coming here, I want that text to come here. So here I'll do equal to, and then I'll go to the sheet 6 and then here I'm able to select this text. I'm going to press enter. I'm going to make this text white color. I'll make it bold. Text should be in white color and I'll increase the size. Okay. Now observe this here with the help of this slicer. I'm going to connect both the chart. I'm going to control both the charts. Right now, this slicer is only controlling this, right? So here I'm going to click on this one, slicer. I'll click on slicer report connections. Right now, it is only connected to this pivot table 3. I want this to be connected to pivot table 5 also. Now observe this. If I click on this, did you see? Now this slicer is controlling both count, category wise total sales and segment wise total sales. If I click on this, see segment wise total orders. If I click on this, segment wise total profit. Okay. This is how we have created both the charts. Is this clear to everyone? How did we create this? Both dynamic charts. Yes, what? Okay, you guys might find that I'm going a little bit fast. Don't worry, later I'm going to share this recording with you guys. You can watch it at your own pace and create this dashboard at your own pace. Okay, you guys can take your own time later to create this dashboard. Okay, next question I want to answer is here I want to display country wise all KPIs. Okay. Now I want to display country-wise all KPIs. So for this, I'm going to use a map chart. Okay. So to display this question, because we are using countries here, because we are trying to display location, so always map chart is going to be the best. Okay. So here I'll go to orders. From here, I'm going to insert a pivot table using this orders. And then here I want to display country-wise count of order ID, country-wise profit quantity, and then profit margin. Okay, done. Now here same thing I'm going to do. I'll do quickly. Here I'll do equal to. Here I'm going to put country and then whatever country names are there, I'm going to display them here. I'll copy them and then paste it here. And then here is this. The first value is sum of here. I'll display the sum of sales. So I'll display this column, sum of sales. And I'm going to make this both bold. Here I'll write equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Here it is asking me to select the entire table. I'm going to select the entire table here. Okay, and then column number for this, I'm going to use match function. Value is this. And then here lookup array, I'm going to select all the columns. Okay, and the match type is exact match. Okay, comma, now VLOOKUP. Also, I'm looking for exact match. Here I'm able to see sum of sales. I'll display for all the countries. I want this text to come in a dynamic way. So I'm going to take the help of that KPI table, which we have created. I'm going to insert a pivot table with the help of that KPI table. In this, I'll display the name as well as KPI. And then from here, I'm going to insert a slicer. Okay, done. In this, I want to display 5 columns. So now if I click on any of this, I'm only able to display that here, right? And whatever text is coming here, I want that text to be displayed here. So I'll double click, I'll remove this equal to, I'm going to select this, okay? Whatever text is coming here, I want that text to come here, okay? Now I'm able to see country-wise sales, profit, quantity, profit margin, and then count of order ID, okay? Once this is done, here I can create a bar chart for this. I can create a bar chart for this one. See, but it is not looking good. The best thing you can do whenever you're having locations is choose a map chart. Okay. So I'm going to select this. And then here I'm going to insert a map chart. Here I'll click on field map. Here Excel is creating a map. If your laptop is a little bit slow, then this creating this map chart is going to make your laptop a bit slower. I'll cut this and I'm going to paste that map chart here. Okay, now look at this here. If I click on this one, here it is showing me country-wise total sales. So now if you observe here, what is happening? United States, it is shown me, it is shown in dark, it is shown in dark color, which means that from this particular country, I'm getting more sales. If I click on this one, you'll notice that again the colors are changing, right? India is not in dark color because we are not getting highest orders from here. From India is not very light color. If you look at this Russia, Russia is there in very light color because I'm getting very less orders. Okay, only 384 orders. And here this India is somewhere mid color, medium orders. Okay, medium order count. If you look at this United States, I'm getting 9,994 orders. A lot of orders I'm getting. Okay, and when it comes to total quantity, here again the color has changed. For this, now India has become darker because I'm getting some of sales more from here. Okay. If I click on this profit, India, did you see it has become even darker because I'm getting really good profits from India. So the color, how dark the color is, it is showing that we are getting more profits or more orders or more sales. Lighter the color on that country means we are getting less profits, less quantity from there. Okay. Is this map chart clear to everyone? How did we create this? Yes. Okay. What about others? Are you guys able to understand? Okay. Samuel, just let me know what question you're having. Are you guys actually excited to create this dashboard on your own after this workshop? How many of you are going to create this dashboard after the workshop? Put me in the chat. Me? Okay, great. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload this on my YouTube channel. Okay, you guys can subscribe to that channel. You will get the video there. Okay, I'm going to send the data set here, but I'll be uploading this on my YouTube channel. You guys can get that video from here. So I'll send the channel link in the chat. By today end, I'm going to upload it here. So you guys can subscribe to this channel. Also, you guys, if you are watching me, if you are listening me for the first time, you guys can add me on my LinkedIn. If you are posting on LinkedIn, do give me a tag. I would love to see your dashboards. So this is my LinkedIn profile. You guys can add me here. Okay. I'll just wait for 1 minute for everyone to quickly subscribe the channel, or if you guys want me to, if you guys want to add me on LinkedIn, you guys can quickly do that. Within 1 minute, we are going to resume creating our dashboard. No, this is not a certificate workshop. Okay, this workshop is going to help you to create a project which you can add to your resume. This is not a certificate workshop. Data set, I'm going to send the data set at the last. Okay, so did you guys subscribe to the channel? Shall we resume? Shall we resume creating the dashboard? Okay, cool. So let's create this. I'm going to cut this map which you have created, and I'm going to display this in my dashboard. I'm going to put that map here. So once this is done, I'm going to put the name also here. I'll copy this and paste it here. Here we are showing country-wise all the KPIs, right? Here we are showing displaying country-wise all the KPIs. So I'm going to create a name here. Here I'm going to put equal to country-wise space. I'll put and And then here I'm going to display this. Here country wise total profit, country wise total sales, total quantity like this. Okay. So here I'll go to my dashboard. Here I'm going to click on equal to, and then here I'm going to select this. Press enter. Okay. Here I'm going to make this text in white color. I'll increase the size. Okay, like this, I made it bold. So here, if I click on this one, right now it is not connected to this. Let's connect to this chart also. I'll simply click on this slicer. I'll click on the slicer, and then here I'll click on report connections. Okay, here I'll click on this. Okay, did you now see? It is now connected to this chart also. Here, this slicer is controlling all the charts. It is controlling all the three charts. Okay, so this is how we have answered this question where we are displaying country-wise all the KPIs. Here, I'm going to simply remove this. Okay, here I've simply removed this. Okay, now next question I want to answer is I want to see top five and bottom five subcategories. So here I'll put this five. I'll put five here, and here I want to display top five and bottom five subcategories. I'll press enter. Now in this KPI, this question is a bit different. Okay, in this I'm displaying top five and bottom five subcategories. So let's answer this question. I'll go to my orders. In this, I'm going to insert a pivot table. Here I'm going to insert a pivot table. Okay, now here let's display subcategory wise all the KPIs. Here I'll put subcategory into rows. I want to display subcategory wise profit, quantity, profit margin, and then order ID, and sales. Okay, so here I'm displaying subcategory wise all the KPIs. Okay, and now next thing, what do I want to do? Here I'll create this subcat. I'll just put this text subcategory. Okay, here what all subcategories are there? I want to display all the subcategories here. I'll put equal to. I'm going to select this. And here I'm going to drag this down. Okay. And now I want to see subcategory wise KPIs here. I'll display sum of profit. Here I'm going to make this bold. Now, what do I want? Here to display the values. Here I'll quickly write equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Table array. I'm going to select this. Not going. Okay. Fine. Column. Profit is there in which column? Second column. Okay. And then range lookup. Here it is false. Here I'll double click. In this, I want this value to be dynamic. I'll use match function. I'm going to select this one, comma. I'm going to select this. From a match type, we are looking for exact match. Okay. Now here I'm going to fix the range of my table array. And then here lookup value is this. And then table array is this. Okay. I'm going to double click here on bottom right. Now here I want to change this text. Okay. So here I'm going to insert a pivot table with the help of KPI table. I'll click on this one. I'll insert a pivot table from the KPI table. Okay, here I'll put the name. and KPI. Okay, here I'm going to insert a slicer. I want to insert the symbol slicer. Okay, and right click, number of columns, 5. Now, if I click on this, that text is coming here. If I click on this one, that text is coming. Okay, here, whatever text is coming here, I want that to be displayed here. And dynamically, the values are changing. Okay, here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this and paste it somewhere here. Okay, so whatever text is coming here, that text is coming here. Now, what do I want? I want to display top 5. I want to give rank. So now if you observe, so which this blinders is the highest when it comes to total quantity, right? So here, this should be at first rank. Okay. So whatever is the second highest, the second highest is art. For this, it should be rank 2. Okay, like this, I want to give rank for each and every subcategory. So here, what I should do for this, here I'm going to give top ranking here. I'll create a column top ranking and bottom ranking. Okay, so here I'm going to select, I'll make them bold. So here I'm going to use rank function equal to rank dot eq. So what is the rank of this value in this selection? So I'm going to make this bold. Okay, I'll close this. Now this is accessories is coming on 8th rank. If I double click on bottom right, did you see blinders is coming on first rank? Okay, and then after this storage is there. It is coming in second rank. And after this art is there, which is coming in third rank. Okay, so here in a descending order, the ranking has been done. So now bottom ranking, I'm going to do the same thing, but here it should be in ascending order. Rank.eq, this number, I'm going to select this range. I'm going to fix the range here. Here, but when it comes to order, it should be in ascending order. I'll put 1. I'll close this. Now look at this. First rank is given to the subcategory which is having the least quantity, right? If I click on this one, did you see the ranking is changing? Okay, the ranking is changing here. Once we have created this, now what we should do? Now we should create. Now we should only be displaying top 5 and bottom 5. In this, we only want to show top 5 subcategories and bottom 5 subcategories, right? So here, I'm going to create this small table. Here I'll put top rank. Here I'll put subcategory. And then here, whatever we are displaying here, that value should come here. I'll select this. Okay. Now here, what do I want? I only want to see the top 5 subcategories, which means that first one is this paper, right? I want to see subcategory paper here. What is the second rank? I want to display only the top 5 here. So for this, what function we can use? We can use 2 functions. First is index plus match, which is a very complicated function. Okay. So here I'll do equal to index. Here in this, I'm going to select this entire table, comma, row number is this one. So to get the row number, I need to use match function here. Lookup value is this. And then here I'm going to select this. Okay. Then we are looking for exact match. I'll close this. Now for the column number, I'll again use match function. This I'm going to select and then I'll select the column name. See how much headache it is to use index and match. Look up exact match and then I'm going to close this. Here in this, we need to fix these ranges. So I'll fix this range. This index plus match is very, very complicated. To get the row number, here I need to fix this range. And for this match, here the call, it should always target this. It should not target this. Okay, here it should always target this subcategory, right? So here I'll get the subcategory. Okay, subcategory here. Just 1 minute. This is the column number, right? Okay, here, fine. Subcategory here, I need to fix this range. Did you look at this? First subcategory is paper. See, I had to do this, so much headache I had to do to create this answer, right? And again, I have to do the same thing for this. Using index plus match, you can do this, but this is very complicated. So instead of going for this, I should go for X lookup. Here I'll do equal to X lookup. Lookup value is this, comma, lookup array. I will be able to find this where I'll be able to find this in this range, right? So here I need to fix this range. I'll put a dollar, comma, return array. What do I want? I want the subcategory. So here I'm going to select this column. I need to fix this range. Okay, I'll close this. If it is not found, here I'm going to put not found. Okay. So now if you observe, we in the return array, we don't just want the subcategory, right? We want to get this column also. According to the rank, we don't just want to get the subcategory. I want the subcategory column also and this column also, right? So in this return array, what I should do, I should select both. The lookup array is fine. This return array is there, right? In this return array, what I should do, I should not just select one column. I want to get these both values, right? I should select these two. And now I should fix this range. Dollar. Okay, did you see? Now I'm able to get the values very easily with the help of XLOOKUP. Okay, now when I change this value to this, did you see I'm displaying top 5 profits? If I click on this, top 5 sum of sales. Okay, if I click on this, here I'm able to see top 5 quantity. Okay, like this, how we have displayed top 5 subcategories. I also want to display the bottom 5. Bottom rank. I want to display the bottom 5. Okay, so here I'll put subcategory. And then whatever value is coming here, I want that to be displayed. Here I'll use XLOOKUP. Using XLOOKUP, I'll be doing it very easily. Lookup value is this. Lookup array. In now this time, I'm looking for one in this bottom ranking, right? I'll select this, comma. Now return array. What all do I want to return? I want to return accessories and this column values. So here I'm going to fix this range. If not found, here I'm going to put not found. Okay, here I'm able to display the bottom 5. For this, when I drag this down, I'm able to see all the other values. 3 is not there for this. Okay, I'll click on this one. Now I'm able to see top 5 subcategories and bottom 5 subcategories. Okay. Once this is done, what we are going to do, we are now going to simply create charts. Okay. So guys, now we are just into 15-20 minutes and then we'll complete the dashboard. In next 15 minutes, we'll be completing the dashboard and I'll share the data set with you guys. Okay. So those who participants who are watching till now, so you guys have great patience. Many participants, due to lack of patience, they have left. Okay. So in today's day, everyone has very short attention span. If it is take, they cannot actually sit more than 15 to 20 minutes. If you have stayed up to this long, you guys have really good patience. Okay, I really appreciate it. I'm going to share the data set at the end only with participants who stay till the end. Okay. So here, once I've created this, let's create a chart for this one and this one. Okay. So here I'll select this and insert. Here I'm going to insert a 3D column chart. I'm going to make this look like this one. Okay, here I'm going to cut this. This chart is showing me, this chart is showing me uh, top five subcategories, right? Here I'll put this in my dashboard. I'm going to put that here. Okay. So in this, I don't want this name. So here I'm going to hide the title, chart title I'm going to hide. Okay. And I'm going to copy this and paste it. In this, I want to display top five. I want to display top five subcategories. Here I'll put equal to top five subcategories by, and then I'll put and here and display sum of profit. Okay. So here you'll notice that this text will change accordingly. See, top five subcategories by sum of profit margin. Okay, whatever text is coming here, I want that text to be displayed here. I'll click on this. I'll give equal to, and then here I'm going to select this. I'll make it text white color. I'll make this bold. I'll select this. Text should be in white color. Okay, done. Now I'm going to display a chart for bottom five also. Here I'm going to select this. Let's insert. Here I'm going to insert a bar chart. I'll select this one. In this, here I'm going to hide the chart title. Okay, and let's display bottom five. Here I'll give equal to, will display bottom five subcategory by, and here I'm going to select this. I'll cut this and I'm going to paste this in my dashboard. I'm going to put it here. Okay. Now I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Now here, what do I want to do? Here I want to display this text. I'll give equal to, I'll go to my sheet 8 and then select this one. I'll make it bold. Okay. So here we have created this. So we have created this five charts like this. Okay. Here, let's give this five columns. Okay, done. Now, last thing, we want to display this visual Last thing, we want to display a scatter plot. Okay. In this scatter plot, we are going to display profit versus sales relationship. Okay. I'll go to this orders. I'm going to select sales column and I'm going to select profit column. And here I'm going to insert a scatter plot. And then, so here in this scatter plot, each dot is showing me sales and profit relationship. Okay. So now if I hover on this one, this point is showing me what? This point is showing me on the x-axis here I'm having profits and on the y-axis I'm getting the sales amount. Okay. So 8,399 is the profit of this order and this much is the sales. Sales is how much? 17,499. Here I'm going to put it in this style. So this is going to be static. Okay. This is not connected to my KPI. So this is going to be static, which we are going to post it in my dashboard. I'm going to paste this here. We have displayed this. I'm going to copy this one, paste it. Here I'm going to display sales and profit relation. Okay. So in this, we are displaying sales and profit relation. Now look at this. This is how our dashboard is looking like. Is it looking beautiful? I want you guys to make this dashboard much better. You guys can make it much more better looking than mine. Okay. So last thing we are going to do, we are almost done. We are only left with last thing, which is sparkline chart. Okay. In the sparkline chart, what do I want to do? Using the sparkline chart, I want to show yearly trend for all the KPIs. Okay. So in this here, I'll select this entire box. I want to make one. I'm going to select this and this entire box. I want to display that as one. So here I'll click on merge and center. Okay. So now this entire area has become one box. So in this, what do I want to display? Here I'm going to insert, I'll go to orders. I'm going to insert a new pivot table. In this pivot table, I want to display from each year what is happening with KPIs. Okay. So I'll drag the order year, order date. In this, I will be able to see year, quarter. I don't want to see quarter. I don't want to see month. I don't want to see this. I only want to see years. I want to see what is happening, yearly sales, yearly quantity, yearly profit, and then yearly profit margin. And then here I want to see order count. Okay, done. Right. So now what do I want to do? Here in this, let's actually put the entire order date here. I'll put this and right click. If I want to open everything, I want to open everything here. I'll right click and expand. I'll click on expand entire field. Okay. So now you are able to see in each year what is happening quarter wise. Okay. In this year, in quarter one, what is the total sales? In this year, in quarter two, what is the total sales? In this year, quarter three, what is the total sales? Quarter four, what is the total sales? Okay. So now here I'm going to insert a line chart, spark line chart. I'm going to insert. Okay. So here I'll click on this and then I'm going to insert a spark line. Here in this spark line is there. I'm going to select the data range. So I'm going to select from here till the last. Okay. Here I'm going to click on OK here. Now, did you see what is happening? Here we have created a sparkline chart. Now, if you observe what is happening here, here this is at peak. Why we are getting this at peak here? Because if you notice here in 2019, I'm showing the total sales of 2019. And again, after this, it went down. It is showing me the quarter wise data. And again, we are seeing a peak here. Why we are seeing a peak? Because we are seeing the total sales of 2020. Here we are displaying the total sales of 2020. That is why we are seeing peak here. So now what do we understand? If you notice, the peak is increasing for every year. This is the peak of 2019, 2020. 2021, did you see the peak has increased? In 2022, again the peak has increased, right? Every year. Now this part time is telling me every year the sales is increasing. Okay. So now if you want to create some other spark line, so here, hmm, okay. So now here you are able to see what is happening quarterly wise. Okay. So let me check. Okay. Here we are able to see, let me put this once again, date, remove this. I'm going to delete the sheet. Let's insert this once again. Here I'm going to put order date. In this, I want to display all the KPIs. I'll display the sales. I'll display quantity. I'll display profit. I'll display profit margin. Here I'll display the order ID. Okay. Here I'll right click, expand, expand entire fields, expand entire fields in this. So here monthly I'm expanding. For this monthly, I'm expanding. Okay, we don't want to go so much in depth. We'll leave it. Let's only display quarterly also. Quarterly only. Okay. Here, I want to display what is happening quarterly. Okay. Right click, expand, expand. Let me put it separately like this. Yearly, quarterly, monthly. Yes, now I'm able to get it correctly. Okay. Now I'm able to display this correctly here. Let's display order ID. Count of orders. What is happening with count of orders? I'm able to get that count. Okay. If you put it separately, you will be able to get this yearly what is happening. Here, if I directly put the order date into this, now this is what I'm able to see. If I open this one, this is what is happening order wise. Okay. So now here I'll put this yearly. Here I want to insert a spark line, which is showing me yearly order ID. I want to show yearly what is happening with profits, what is happening with sales, what is happening with quantity, and what is happening with profit margin. Okay. And here I'm going to simply insert a sparkline chart. I'll click on insert. I want to insert a sparkline from this. Okay. Here it has increased like this. Okay. So this is how we are displaying here. Let me here. I'm going to expand like this. Here I'm expanding. When I expand this here, I'm able to see what is happening in this year in different quarters. Hmm. In this here, it is not showing me the total yearly. What we'll do, we'll go to design, grand total on subtotals show. Okay, fine. Here now it is displaying me the subtotals as well. Okay, here I'm displaying this yearly. What is happening? Here I'll display the profit margin also, and I'll display profits, quantity, and sales. Okay, and then here I'm going to insert a line chart. I'll click on insert. I want to insert a spark line using this data. Here we have created a spark line chart. Okay, whatever spark line we have created, right? I want that spark line to be displayed in my dashboard. So let's display that spark line in our dashboard. I'm going to click on this one. I click on my dashboard. Here I'm going to give equal to, and whatever spark line we have created, right? I'm going to display that here. Now, if you notice, I'm getting 0 here. I'm getting 0 here. Now, why am I getting 0 in this? Here, what I'll do, instead of selecting it directly, here I'm going to insert a sparkline in this box by selecting that data. Location range. Here I want to display that here. When it comes to data range, what I'll do, I'll go to sheet 11. I want to create a line chart using this data. So I'll select this and then I'll click on OK. Now, if you notice that line chart is being displayed here, we are not able to see this because the background color, I'll change this to something like this color. Now you're able to see I've created a spark line. This spark line is showing what is happening yearly with sum of sales. Okay. I'll insert one more spark line, which will show me what is happening with sum of profit. Okay. Here I'll click on merge and center. Here I'm going to insert a spark line. Location range, I want that to be displayed here. Data range here. Now I want to display for sum of profit, right? So here what I'm going to do, here I'm going to select the sum of profit here. I'll select the sum of profit and then click on OK. Now I'll change this to background color yellow. Did you see? Now here we have displayed what is happening with sum of profit. With sum of profit, the profits are increasing with each and every year. Okay. I think by mistake I've selected uh, for sum of sales. By mistake, I think I've selected this count of order ID. Fine, we can change that. Okay. So as this is how you will create your dynamic retail dashboard. Okay. You guys create this line spark line chart for each and every KPI. Okay. Was this clear to everyone? Did you guys understand how to create this dashboard? Any questions in this? So this entire dashboard is completely dynamic. If I click on this one, it is changing this entire thing. So right now this is not connected with these two. Let's connect this slicer with these two as well. I'll click on this slicer report connections. It is now connected with this one also. Now if you observe, if I select this, these two are also changing. If I click on this, did you see the entire dashboard is changing here according to this? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. Okay. So guys, did you guys find this interesting? How to create dashboards in Excel? How was your today's workshop experience? Did you guys find this easy, interesting, exciting, or difficult? Easy. Okay. Awesome. Great. Yeah, you can connect this with Sparkline also. Okay. So guys, just give me 1 minute. I'm going to share a form with you guys. You guys quickly fill that form. Let me just stop the recording.